Hey, it is so good to see you again. Well, at least in my imagination. I hope you've been having an incredible journey through the gospel. Again, whatever gospel you're going through, I hope you have thoroughly been enjoying this journey through the gospel. I have been, again, finding rich insights in the gospel of Luke. One of the verses I read this week, in fact today, is this one from Luke 12. Life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Man, I need that reminder so often. And I'm finding as I journey through the Gospel of Luke, the book is opening up to me. Jesus is becoming clear in my view and in my heart. And again, I hope the same for you. This week's focus was interrogating or cross-examining the text, asking those investigative questions: who, why, what, when, where, how. Diving in and coming at the text from angles we hadn't come at it before, asking questions of stories that we thought obvious to us before, and instead asking new questions or the same questions again can help us see the text in a whole new light. This week, I'm going to be focusing in my message on the final days of Jesus before the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Looking for themes that run through the Gospels and insights that they give us into Jesus, into ourselves, into salvation as we look at those final days. What was it as Jesus turned his face toward Jerusalem? In fact, in Luke chapter 9, the story of Jesus turning his face toward Jerusalem is Luke 9:51, where the entire trajectory, at least in some sense, of Jesus' life and ministry shifts toward his final days. Now, it is still in the future, but there's a shift. So what things show up? I think the Last Supper is one of those threads that shows up across the Gospels. Jesus talks about the Holy Spirit, at least in John and maybe some other Gospels, with more urgency. He addresses the religious leaders, it seems, with more urgency. There's a sense of increasing urgency as Jesus moves toward the cross. He's going to be departing, and the light, he says, is only going to be with you for a short time. So I'd encourage you to spend today, the rest of today anyway, and tomorrow, reflecting on any thematic material you find in the gospel you're reading, and see what it brings to our conversation, to your listening as I teach on the themes that run through the Gospels around the last days of Jesus. I'd like to also invite you to join us Friday evening. If you don't have a group to hang out with and process what you're learning in the Gospel, come here, right to this comfortable space, and join us for a conversation about the parables of Jesus this Friday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. God bless you. Keep looking at Jesus.